Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Regine. Welcome to the Masters of Science Business Analytics program and student and alumni sharing session. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Okay, so we'll give everyone a couple of minutes because we have a lot of people, entering now. So just give us a little while. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. So just let me see anybody have any problems joining the sessions. Okay, I think so far so good. So thank you once again for joining us. I'm Regine from the Nanyang Business School Graduate Studies Program. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, this evening. So today I'm very happy to have our alumni from the Masters of Science and Business Analytics and our current student in the program who will be sharing with us the experience in the program. But before, they go on to do their sharing, what I'll do is give everyone a quick rundown on the NTU, on Nanyang Business School, and some of the key highlights of the program. And then I'll have the time dedicated for Jinkai and Haifa to share their experiences. So I think without any further delay, what I'll do is I will start the presentation first. And if you have any questions for our student, for our alumni, feel free to put into the chat and we'll get to that later. Yeah, so just let me share my screen. Okay, everybody can see the screen. Okay, I think it's taking a while. Just give me a moment. I think my my sharing has kind of like paused for a little bit. Just give me a while. Okay. Oh dear. Is it still okay? I think it is working now, the sharing. Sorry for taking a little bit longer for the sharing. So thank you so much. Again, I'm Regine. I'm from the Graduate Studies Office at the Nanyang Business School. I oversee the marketing and admissions for the specialized master's program. So thank you for joining me. Let me get on with my introduction of the business school and our program. So I believe many of you here are very familiar about NTU, but for those of you who are, a little bit new to NTU, let me quickly go through, some of the key highlights of Nanyang Technological University. So we're established in 1991. We are a research-intensive global university. We are not just highly ranked in Asia, but in the world as well. NTU expertise are in the area of technology, innovation, and research. And this is the ranking that you can see for NTU. In the latest QS World University ranking, we are ranked 19th in the world. In terms of the Times Higher Education Young University, we are ranked 2nd. And at the QS Asian University ranking, we are ranked 3rd in the world. So in terms of some of the programs that are ranked and includes our flagship MBA's program, they're top 3 in Asia, top 40 in various different ranking, as well as ranked 25th for executive MBA program. So as you know, NTU is a comprehensive university. So graduating from NTU, you immediately actually join a network of global alumni network. So in terms of NTU, we have close to 300,000 NTU alumni. And in terms of the Nanyang Business School alumni, we are more than 60,000 alumni strong, and can see that we're represented in over 160 countries, and probably wherever you are, we probably have an alumni association to close to the nearest city that you are at. Yes. So about Nanyang Business School. So Nanyang Business School, we are part of this comprehensive university. As you can see from the slide here, there are many colleges within NTU, and the Nanyang Business School is a college of business within the NTU. And one of the important, as part of the key colleges in the university, as well as the part of this ecosystem, we are able to leverage on other colleges, their strengths, and conduct and have interdisciplinary learning in our curriculum. So we are one of Asia's leading business school. We are well known for being research-oriented, interdisciplinary, and providing very industry-relevant education. We prepare our students for the workplace. And the Nanyang Business School and NTU brand name, it is well recognized by companies globally. And for the Nanyang Business School, we're accredited by AACSB and AQUIS. These are the, the world's most popular and the leading business school accreditation. So we have both of them. So you're assured that, in terms of the quality of education, they pass the very stringent accreditation standards set by these two organizations. Okay, so for our faculty members, we have over 160 top leaders from more than 30 countries. So you will be taught by any of these faculty members graduated from leading university, and many of them are not just expert in their areas of research, but many of them actually consult in different MNCs as well as work on different projects with organization, with MNC as well as the government. Yes. So I think this slide very nicely summarized the key strengths of Nanyang Business School, which is to innovate, lead, and transform. So we are not just a premier business school, but we are a premier business school within a leading technological university, which means that we're able to leverage on NTU's strengths in the area of technology, research, AI, and how it translates into a business education and how it affects businesses. So I think we're very fortunate to be able to tap on these strengths on NTU and further, use these into our curriculum in the business school. So let me dive straight into the business analytics program. So our business analytics program has a lot of modules that is focused on building future competencies, for example, in AI, in blockchain, in machine learning. These topics are very trending now. They are going through tremendous changes. Our faculty members strive to bring the latest in this area to our classroom. And in terms of the kind of industry relevance that we provide, we have this data analytics practicum, which is actually like a full-time internship that students get to do in their trimester 3 with a Singapore-based company where they get to really, work on a real-world analytics project to help to drive, improvement in businesses, solve business problems, and to drive a transformation. And in many classes, the faculty members make use of real-world data in their teaching, so that what we have learned is really applicable to the real world. That is not something that is made up, but is something that is already happening in the world. And of course, we emphasizes a lot of interdisciplinary learning, which is why we have, cross-disciplinary collaborations with the School of Physical and Mathematical Sciences, as well as the School of Computer Engineering for other colleges in NTU. So you get the best of the technical expertise from these colleges, as well as the best of the business education from the business school. So this is our curriculum. It is a one-year full-time program for international students who are studying with us on a student pass. You can only do the program on a full-time basis. But for those of you who are residents of Singapore, you can actually do the program on a full-time basis, or you can also do it on a part-time basis. If you're doing it on a part-time basis, you actually take 2 years to complete the program. So what you see over here is actually a full-time overview, kind of like a calendar. You can see the different modules that you study in the different trimester. And in the third trimester, you actually get to tailor your learnings by choosing elective that are of your interest. And of course, there is the data analytics practicum that I have mentioned. So for part-time student, you must be wondering, how are you going to do the data analytics practicum? Not to worry, you can actually opt to do a research project with our faculty members. And for international student or full-time student, if you wish to actually have a longer than a year's program, you can actually opt to do this internship module. It's totally optional, so you actually can go on a full-time internship during this period from July to December, which means that your graduation, instead of 1 year, you actually graduate in 1.5 years. Yeah, so this is the overview of the academic, the program calendar. Okay, and in terms of, I think many of you here are doing a master's program because you want to look for advances, opportunities in your career. I'm very happy to share that at the NTU Business School, we actually have a dedicated career office supporting all the master students in our business school. So at the NTU level itself, they have a career office. And at business school itself, we have two career offices. One is for the master students and one is for undergraduate students. So they serve the needs of our students by providing very high touch career support, such as one-on-one career coaching. They have many workshops, seminars, talks, and different sessions by inviting, employers to talk to our students, to meet with our students, by inviting alumni to join us. So these are some of the things that our colleagues in the career office organize for our students. And there are lots of different career tools available as well, such as we have a dedicated kind of like job portals for our students to look for jobs, internship, etc. Of course, they also help to open doors and connections to alumni, industry mentors, coaches, employers, etc. So there's a lot of things that they do, and I think Jin Kai and Haifa will be able to share a little bit more some of some of the events and all that they have gone through. Okay, so I think for the data analytics practicum, I'd like to just briefly show everybody here. These are a snapshot of some of the companies that our students actually get to do their practicum with. They're from various industries, from banking and finance companies, to pharmaceutical, to tech company, to e-commerce. What a variety, because business analytics is a field that is applicable to many industry, which is why they can be employed across different industry and sectors. So this is the class of 2021, the career insights. This 96% of our graduate across all our MSc's program actually secure employment within 3 months of graduation. This is from the last year graduating class. And again, some of the companies that are listed here, a snapshot of the companies that our student actually is working with. Again, across a variety of companies. Okay, so in terms of our current class profile, so we have about 97 students in the current program. The average age is 23 years old. So a majority of our students, I have to say, are fresh graduate, which means that, from the undergraduate, they join the master's program straight away. We do have about 20% or so who come with work experience. So the about 20 to 30%. So different years, the percentage a little bit different. So which is why you can see the average age is kind of like on the younger side, but this is quite typical of a pre-experienced master's program. In terms of our gender ratio, I think we're pretty much balanced here. 50, slightly more female than male. And these are some of the undergraduate majors of our current cohort. Majority of our students comes from graduated from business-related majors. A third from a STEM background, and then the others are mostly in the economics and the social sciences. Yes. Okay, so this is the admissions requirement. So the admissions requirement is a bachelor's degree in any field. So you do not need to have a computer science program or a business analytics or a business program to join this program. It can be from any background. We do require a GMAT or a GRE score. And for those of you whose undergraduate degree is not fully taught in English language, we do require a TOEFL or an IELTS score. And for this program, like I mentioned, no work experience is required. So which is why we have quite a number of fresh graduates in the program. This program can be completed on a full-time or part-time basis. For international student on student pass or student visa, you can only do it on a full-time basis. So if you're doing it one full-time, you can do it, you can complete it in 1 year. But if you want to do it with the internship, it's 1.5 years. Part-time student can only complete it in 2 years. So this is our application deadline. As you can see, the round 1 deadline is coming right up in a 3 weeks plus. So you still have time, not to worry. And the other deadlines are round 2. and final deadline is next year. But I would like to highlight that admissions are rolling admission, which means that even after the round 1 deadline, when we receive an application, we will actually still process it if all the documents are in. So right now, we have actually already conducted several rounds of interviews because it's a rolling admissions. So this is the tuition fee, which we have included the prevailing GST inside, which is why you see such an odd number. So do take note that Singapore GST is set to rise by 1 percentage point next year. So if you do take up our offer and pay our enrollment fee before the end of the year, this is the fee that you are looking at. If you actually, accept our offer and pay next year because of the GST increase, there'll be a slight adjustment to the tuition fee. Yep. Full details can be found on our website. Okay. I know many of you are also wondering what kind of scholarships and grants do we offer. Happy to share that we have an ASEAN Development Scholarship. This year is actually the first intake that we have actually awarding this ASEAN Development Scholarship for students who are applying from the ASEAN nations, excluding the Singapore citizens, because we do have the Singapore citizens a scholarship offered by the Singapore IMDA for Singapore citizens. We have the Merit Scholarship, which is open for all nationalities. These are all partial scholarship with the exception for the SG Digital Scholarship. This is a full scholarship that is IMDA is awarding to Singapore citizens. You can actually be a full-time student. You can also be a part-time student. So, there's no restrictions. And then in terms of grants, we actually have the NTU Alumni grants, as well as the Singapore Citizen SPR grant. So if you are eligible for both, which means that you are an NTU alumni as well as, say, a Singapore citizen, you actually get to stack these two grants together. Each grant is worth 10% of the prevailing tuition fee. So you actually can stack them up and get a 20% off. Yeah, so this is our scholarship and grants. So to apply is very, very simple. It's all done online. You need to submit your CV or resume. Degree scroll needs to be uploaded. If you are in your final year of your undergraduate program and you do not have a degree scroll, that's fine. You don't have to submit that. For those of you who have already done a master's, you're thinking of second master's, please upload your undergrad and postgraduate master's as well. Transcript is required. Please upload them. If any of your documents are not in English language, please have them translated and then upload that in both languages. GRE, GMAT score, please upload it onto your online application. Other than just, you don't have to send us the official hard copy for the application stage, but do upload it onto your application. IELTS TOEFL score only if required. Also, please upload the score. Copy of the passport, with your personal details. If you're Singapore citizens, you can also upload your NRIC copy, that's fine. And we also would like you to have a passport size photo of your headshot to be uploaded. And for you to also nominate 2 recommenders, and which you need to put in their contact details in your online application, and then you can trigger the email to them so that your recommenders can actually help to put in their recommendations for you through an online form. Very, very easy. So this is our admissions process. Submit online applications. Only shortlisted candidates will have an admissions interview, after which you know the admission outcome, and after that, accept the admissions offer. So we are now accepting application for next year, July intake. So what do we look for? Very briefly, your academic background, the schools that you're from, the kind of grades that you get, some of the academic achievements that we look at. But of course, that's not all. We also look very much at non-academic achievements that you have. And of course, your internship, your work experience, is it related to analytics? What kind of achievements you have done there? So these are some of the areas that we look at. Of course, demonstrated leadership qualities is something that we look at as well, and how you're able to contribute to the class. So these are some of the areas that form the assessment of your applications. So here to share some of our alumni from the different cohorts. Manfong, Yu Heng, Pei, Lily, Vivek, Noel, and Mimisha. They're from different background, and some of them are working in Singapore, some of them are working in their home country, some of them have relocated to work in other areas. Yes, so these are some a snapshot of our alumni here. So just as a summary, what are the key strengths of NTU Business Analytics program? Definitely, you graduate with a very globally recognized degree that's awarded by a leading university. Like I mentioned, we are currently ranked 19 in the world. There's also these real-world applications of your knowledge with our data analytics practicum. It is, we are well known for interdisciplinary learning. We are able to leverage NTU strengths in the STEM area. Flexible duration, where you can tailor the duration of the program, by participating in the internship module or not. Yeah, so this is how you can very much tailor to your needs, and also supported by dedicated career office here. Okay, so right now I will, invite our alumni and our current student to share. So we are very pleased to have Haifa with us. She's now currently working as an analytics management trainee in Nike, China. And of course, Jinkai is our current student. So what I'll do now is I'll stop sharing, and then I will, invite them to, share their experiences with us. So, hi Jinkai and Haifa, are you both ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi everyone.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Okay, that's great. So perhaps before we start, maybe I'll ask them to give a self-introduction. Maybe ladies first. Haifa, would you like to introduce yourself briefly to our audience?
Okay, sure. Thanks, Regine. Hello, everyone. My name is Haifa, and I got my bachelor degree from Suzhou University in China and the master degree from NTU MSBA. I did the trimester program in learning very basic and also deeply involved with the industry content in my journey of MSBA. And currently, like introduced by Regine just now, I'm a management trainee in Nike China, based in Shanghai. And so I'm now in my Shanghai's home. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Haifa. Now over to you, Jinkai.
Okay, I'm Jinkai. I'm a current student in MSBA for 2002 and 2003. I used to be a pharmacist for the past 7 years, and I decided to add a bit more value to what I was doing. So I enrolled in MSBA and looking for the change now.
Okay, thank you so much, Jinkai. Since you are talking about your background as a pharmacist, so was there something like a trigger that made you decide to make a bold career switch from pharmacy, to business analytics? Because it's quite different, I imagine. Yeah.
It's very different. So I didn't make the decision in 1 or 2 days. It actually took me quite a while to make the decision. But I believe that shifting the career routes is actually quite inevitable and also important for my personal progress. Because like nowadays, the technologies are very advanced. There's an increased reliance and competencies in technology advance in whatever I was doing back then. Let me give you an example. So in pharmacy, we have this dispensing software, right? Nowadays, it can detect interactions between 2 medications and then also give the direction on what a pharmacist should do to encounter that. This part of the job used to be done by a pharmacist, but nowadays it's done by the software. So it gave me a bit of thought, and given my unique background in healthcare industry, I was wondering if I could add in another way of adding value into the pharmaceutical field, and then data analytics came to my mind. Back then, I have zero idea about coding or programming, but I do see a lot of synergistic potentials between the 2 fields. So enrolling into MSBA seems like quite a natural progression, at least for myself. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. So you were kind of like were you a little bit worried by being replaced by a software? Hence, you decide to, kind of like, go ahead of the trend, ahead of the curve first.
Yeah. So because I can sense the change already. So nowadays, machine already doing part of what a pharmacist, traditional pharmacist used to do. So less pharmacy is required in a dispensary. Last time, our dispensary was quite a busy one. We need about 5 pharmacy, but after all these changes, 3 of the pharmacies should be more than enough. Yeah.
I see. There's really a lot of a change, even in a pharmaceutical, in this industry. Okay, thank you so much, Jin Kai, for sharing. Haifa, so may I ask, what was your undergraduate major and why did you decide to study business analytics for your master's?
Thanks for the question. For this point, I can echo what Jin Kai said just now, because I majored in financial management as an undergraduate student, and for one thing, I did not like the accounting or financial management related things quite much, and for another thing, it's like I also feel the worries of being replaced by the machine or software in the accounting occupation. Yeah, so I made the decision to change my major for my master's degree. Yeah.
I see. Thank you so much, Haifa. I guess I could say that you have successfully made the change because you are now a management trainee in analytics.
Yeah.
So how's your job so far? Like, could you share a little bit about, what do you do on a day-to-day basis as a,
Sure. As you said just now, I'm a management trainee in the Department of Data Analytics. So instead of rotating all around the company, like from marketing to merchandising to analytics, I will have my 3 rotations just within the Department of Data Analytics. So I can benefit from my foundation of data analytics, and also I will have a high exploration and exposure to different stakeholders when I work in different teams within the data analytics department. Like for example, my first rotation is about analyzing the data of consumer, and for the next rotation, I will expect to analyze the data of a supply chain. And for my third rotation, probably will analyze the data of products and marketplace, like how our competitive brands perform in this market. And so I can learn different methodologies to do the data analytics, but always perform like as a data analyzer.
I see. Well, I can see that in one organization, already so many department is using analytics. Can you imagine the kind of users it can be across a multiple industry? So Haifa, do you use a lot of programming in your daily work? Is it like a must for you to be very proficient in programming?
Actually, it depends on which team I'm in. Like for some team, like for the supply chain analytics or product analytics, especially the analysts related to big data, you need the basic programming skills like Python and SQL. And for my first rotation, it's relatively related to the business side, like working in a consulting firm. So it's not quite that much for me to learn the technical skills here.
I see. Thank you so much. I guess both of you kind of like made a switch from a non-programming to programming. So I guess for Jin Kai, did you have any programming background prior to joining the program? And how did you prepare yourself, when you know that you got the offer into the program?
Okay, I have to be very honest. I have 0 programming background. And so far, when I ask all my friends from the same batch, they also have zero programming background. So it's actually quite common, and it's also one of the reason why I choose MSBA as well, because they are much more forgiving for someone with no programming background. Besides, so like to answer your question, how do I prepare myself for MSBA? I had a look at the models that will be covered by MSBA, and most of them looks very technical for me. So and then I go on and enroll into a few online courses, online platform like Coursera, EDX, Udemy's, mainly on Python, R, and SQL, but I didn't learn that much. So most of that I spent on learning Python. But if I were to given another chance on doing it again, which I think this piece of advice is very helpful for all the potential candidates out there, I would have taken this certain certificate called PCEP certificate provided by the Python Institute. So it will give you a very good fundamental foundations on Python, and you should really be focusing on Python because that is the main programming language that will be delivered throughout the course as well. So that's how I prepared for it. I went to online courses, and then maybe 1 month before the commencement, and then I do it over and over again. Kind of prepare me a bit for before the commencement of the program.
I see that. I mean, so would you say that, I guess, does it help? So because we also provide the programming essential before the start of the program, does it help you to transit into their program and think in that frame of line and catch up with the class better?
It does. Usually master programs start around August, but somehow MSBA starting around July, as most of you would know. That 1 month is to provide the student with the foundation. You'll be studying this subject called essential training, which is really the foundation of Python. They have zero expectation on your programming skills, but we won't be doing something as easy as print hello world. But you're going through the foundation like for loop, while loop, printing, how to do algorithms at a very easy way. Like it's a bit of bumpy road, but then overall it's a good experience. And after that 1 month of training from a zero programming background, at least you can write a code, let's say for vending machine, which was the assignment that was assigned to all the students at the end of July. Yep.
Okay, I guess you could say you are an intermediate programmer now.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable on saying that.
Yes, that's awesome.
It's a very well designed program. The best part of this MSBA is it really helps those with minimal or zero programming background students to really catch up with all the programming in a very comfortable pace. It's a bit rushing, but then it's fruitful as well. Yeah.
Wow, I think that's very, very comforting to know that actually, for those of you with no programming background, rest assured that, you'll be well taken care of step by step in that sense. Yeah. Haifa, do you come with any programming background? Because I know that many students actually take up Python on their own.
I think it's the same for me as during type situation. I have zero foundation of programming before I joined this program. And it's similar for me to take some pre-courses before the MSBA starts. Yeah. So it's also a very valuable advice for those candidates who want to apply for this program.
I guess you hear it already from our alumni and our current students. If you have no programming background, don't worry. Take up some courses first, just to get yourself some familiarize with the language and all that will be used, and then you will be like them, very comfortable with programming after that, after the program. So I guess Haifa, could you share with us, when you were thinking of you wanted to pursue a master's program, what were some of your key considerations while you were thinking about pursuing this? Did you think about studying locally at where you were, or how do you decide on Singapore and NTU finally? What are some of the things that that was important to you?
Oh, it's a very good question, especially for me, because I was an exchange student as an undergraduate student in NTU. So during the 1 semester as an exchange student there, I like I have the strong sense of how the social environment in Singapore feels like, and I really fall in love with that kind of environment and feeling. Like in Singapore, it's like an integrated society with a balance between the East world and the West world. For the East part, I mean, traditionally, like the Confucian culture, the modesty people, the hardworking value, and at the same time, for the Western characteristics, it's like you can always meet people with open-mindedness, and it's very easy going and to make friends with the people in Singapore. So, it's a very good integration, and I can reach the balance between these two kind of social culture in Singapore. So it's the most important reason for me to choose the colleges in Singapore. And also, as an exchange student in NTU, I already made many of the friends, teachers, professors, and also some friends, students in NTU. So compared with NUS, I choose NTU first, to be honest.
Thank you so much for your sharing. So your exchange here was so good that you decided to come back for a longer study because one semester was not enough.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I can add on another point because I was also exchange student in UCB, the University of Berkeley, California. Yeah. Like I can have a stronger sense of immersed experience in Singapore compared in the United States. Because when I studied in UC Berkeley, Chinese people are always stick together, and it's relatively hard for me to make close friends with the local people there. But in Singapore, the foreigners and local students always can always play together, communicate together, do the big project together, and I quite like the sense of like communicating without any concern of different cultural background.
That's really nice.
So that's another reason for me to choose Singapore very firmly.
Yeah, I think Singapore is a very cosmopolitan. They call us a melting pot, right? Because we have different cultures, ethnicity, all living together. So I think we are very used to, people from other countries joining us, whether it's our workplace or in studies. I think we are quite used and comfortable with that. So that's good. I'm happy that you feel that sense of welcoming, that familiarity in NTU and in Singapore. Yeah. How about Jing Kai? I guess you must have done a lot of research during your time, because you could have stayed in Australia where you were working to actually pursue a master's program over there, but you choose to come all the way here. So what are some of the boxes that really ticks for you in terms of the program in Singapore, etc.?
Okay, maybe I just share how did I ended up in the MSBA in NTU. So before I joined, I was interested in data analytics. So before I joined the program, I looked at a few universities, mainly in Singapore. Part of it is because it's close to Malaysia, which is my hometown. That might be the main reason why I am in Singapore as well. But then MSBA, as I say just now, I look at the models and I find it very relevant to the industry. So this is how I did my study on which business analytics program to go in, which is also, I think it's a very helpful trick for everyone as well. I just go on to the LinkedIn and then I search the position business analyst in Singapore, and then I'll look at the job descriptions and job requirement. Back then I found that most of the business analysts, the employers will expect them to know Python, R, SQL, Tableau, and with the skills of data visualization, data storytelling, machine learnings. So all those skills in mind, I try to find from NUS, NTU, SMU, like which of the universities provide models that really covers what the industry need at the moment. And NTU just fit in right into the basket. So it's quite obvious that I make the choice to NTU after that, because the models that covered is really relevant to the industry need. And I did talk to the person who designed as well. He worked closely with all the industry partners in designing the program. And every year we will have change in our models just to fit the industry needs as well. Because like the year 2020 data analytics, like what they look for, and this current year, what they look for can be a bit different. Back then, they need someone more towards the business side. So the models used to have more business models inside the program, but nowadays we have more technical side. Although there's a business out there, but then it's not as much as compared to 2 years before. So that thing I very appreciate that NTU really provides those subjects and models that covers what we need when we come out into the working field. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think thanks to Jing Kai for highlighting this point, because when this program is relatively new. So when we designed the program, the academic director really worked with the industry key partners to see what are the skill set that is required of business analysts or similar roles. What are the skill sets they need to bring to their job? So which is why it is very much aligned to the industry needs, which is why one of the highlights of the program is very industry relevant. And of course, because this field developed very fast, and of course, we constantly tweak and update our curriculum, responding to industry needs. So yes, which is why I guess Jing Kai mentioned that it kind of tick all the boxes that all the employers are looking for. So it was like it was quite an easy choice for him to make in that sense, I guess. Yeah. So I guess after all this, I realized that actually time has caught up. So I'll just briefly go through a few questions before we open up the floor for Q&A. So I think a lot of people are interested to know what's the typical schedule like for Jing Kai? And do you have actually live outside the classroom? Is it really all study, projects and all that? Yeah, so maybe Jing Kai.
Interesting question.
Yes.
Okay, so just let's be realistic. So I have zero background on programming. So I had it harder than some of my other friends in the class. My usual day schedules can be a bit hectic. So I wake up around 7 o'clock. Then I start learning. It could be assignment, pre-lectures, post-lectures. If none of that, which is I think is very unlikely, then I'll go on to LinkedIn Learning to learn new programming skills. One thing I have to add, so LinkedIn Learning is provided by NTU as a free resources, which I think that it's quite a good one, because from the LinkedIn Learning, you can learn a lot of stuff, hard skills, technical skills, soft skills. They even teach you how to ace your interview. So spend your time in there. And then after that, I'll go to school. And usually the class for the day is 3 hours and 15 minutes to be very specific. And usually you will have only one class in a day. There's an occasion where I have to take 2 classes, but it's really just one time out of the whole semester. And then when come back after a bit of exercise, then I'll be starting to do my revision again until 9 o'clock. That's my usual weekday schedules. So if you ask me about weekends, not so bad, not so bad. So you will spend maybe at least one day of the weekends to do assignments and revisions for most of the week. Although it's very tiring, but I found it very fruitful. So that's my usual schedules for the day.
Thank you so much, Jing Kai.
Yeah.
Sorry, you have something else to add?
I do have a life outside my class.
That's great. Yes.
Yeah.
So as you can see, Jing Kai is a very diligent student here.
Yeah.
Yes, he has a routine for himself every day. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And he does have some sort of a balance between study and outside study. I guess it's only for 1 year, so I think he's the kind who give his all in that 1 year to make the best out of it. Yeah, that's how I see it. Yes. And I can see Haifa there smiling. He's like, those days.
To be honest, I'm not as hardworking as Jing Kai.
Okay, so Haifa has a slightly different experience. Is working busier than studying for you?
I think for the first trimester, I can spend some time playing tennis with my friends in the campus. Because the environment, the tennis courts are quite good for me to play. It's very easy, very convenient to find tennis friends there. And in the second and third trimester, I have my internship module, one part-time in the second trimester and one full-time in the third trimester. And it's more busier for me in the last one, because you have to have a full-time job in the daytime, and it's around 6 p.m. you have to go back to the campus to have some courses in evening or even till night, like 10 p.m. So it's very busy and a little bit tired for me during that time. But after around 1 or more than 1 month, you can get used to the rhythm. And I also made some close friends, like 4 to 5 very close friends in NTU. We still have the time to celebrate everyone's birthday in the campus when it comes to some people's birthday. Yeah. So I think you can find a balance between study, doing the internship, and as well as playing.
That's really nice. So I guess different one have a slightly different experience is really based on I think individual as well. So for Haifa, after she also have a balance. She has a close groups of close friends that she can relax with after working. I have to share that for Haifa, her curriculum was a little bit different at that time. She actually have the data analytics practicum in trimester 2 and 3. We have since changed the curriculum slightly, so the data analytics practicum is now in trimester 3. So I think for students like Jin Kai, you probably be able to concentrate more on your coursework and all that in your trimester 2, and only focus on the internship in trimester 3. So slightly different there. So, but I guess you have ideas of what is the balance like. So everybody have their own different habits and schedule. So I think I'll just ask Haifa one last question before we open up. So I guess a lot of our audience here are curious to know about what are some of the career support that you receive. Could you just pick a few or one that is the most memorable, or one that you find the most helpful for you to share with everyone?
Here I must credit to GSCDO, if I remember correctly.
Correct, it's GSCDO.
Yeah, it's like a special organization to help the students to find their suitable job, to facilitate their job seeking. And from my experience, I think it's very helpful for me to get the guidance from GSCDO in terms of writing my resume. Yeah, and also the teachers from GSCDO help me to polish it up. And another point is I attended several group case interviews organized by GSCDO, and it's very helpful for me to find job later in my career. Yeah. Also, there are many opportunities offered from GSCDO. Like you can usually receive some emails from GSCDO to tell you certain opportunities to apply for the internship in Singapore, and it's quite convenient for you to click into the link through the email, because otherwise you have to spend quite much time by yourself browsing the internet and finding or which company is hiring. So with GS Video, I can save much time. Yes.
Yes, that's right. I believe the what you're referring to is probably the career feed is like a job portal that we have. Yes, for our students. Yes. Thank you so much, both Haifa and Junkai. So so let me now open the question and answer segment to all our audience here. So is there anybody who would like to ask our alumni and student here questions? Okay, so I have one. Okay, so we have this from Ziyi about application. Okay, so you're not asking them question, but you're directing a question to me. You've submitted your application and you're applying for a passport. It's okay in your applications if you are unable to upload the passport because you are in the process of applying a new one, that's fine. At the application stage, it's okay not to have that. Yeah. So perhaps, since it's very tough to actually get Jinkai and Haifa to be with us this evening, use this opportunity to ask them for questions, ask them the experience, ask them any questions that you really want to know, because it's like hearing from the horse's mouth in that sense. Anybody else have any questions for them? Okay, is everybody a little bit shy? If you don't want to type, you can actually turn on your mic as well as your camera to ask the question as well. I think that's also okay. Anybody wants to? Okay, is there a bell curve for the modules? Jinkai, do you know if there's a bell curve for the modules?
There is.
There is.
The professor has told us there's a bell curve. So if a certain models is really hard and all your friends found it really hard as well, probably scoring 80 is not A. The A could be around 70 or something. So there's definitely a bell curve in it. Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Evelyn, for the question. So I guess that's I think this question also come up quite a fair bit. Yeah. Okay, another question is from Cindy. If they have written exams, I believe it is a combination.
Okay.
Jinkai, would you like to?
It's a combination. It's a combination. Not really written. It's a mix of both. I had one in the first trimester. So most of the MSBA will be delivered in the coursework pattern, which means you have to do assignments. Most of them you have to do assignments, but still they are 1 out of 5 subjects that might require you to do examinations, and there's really just a very small part of it. It could be about 30% out of a total 100% for that particular subject. So there's an exam for some of the models, and currently I'm in semester 2. There's one more unit that required me to do exam. So 1 out of 5 again is 1 out of 5. Yeah.
So I guess it's quite manageable. So it's not like it's not like everything just hinges on one major exam, because there are assignments, presentation, class participation, quizzes, and all that along the way that makes up your grades for that for the particular course. Yeah. So I guess hope that's answered your question. So from Stephanus, is there a specific technique that you use to manage your time during your study? Maybe I'll direct that to Haifa, since you have completed the program.
Okay, sure. What I can think of is you can leverage on many kinds of resources you have in NTU when you meet some kind of problems or troubles during your study or daily life. For example, if you have some problems or questions you cannot think out during the course, just feel free to reach out to your professor or your classmates, because you need to have the mindset that you are outstanding. At the same time, the friends and teachers around you are also very outstanding, and you need to learn how to get the help from those resources and avoid just stay in your own space and keep thinking, how can I solve this hard problem? And it will, which is very easy for you to like stick to just one point. Yeah, that's what I can think for the first point. And for the second point, when you like have a schedule for your daily life, let's say from 9 to 11 a.m. I need to finish this homework. So during that 2 hours, you just pay all your attention to your homework and stay focused. And you can leave the messages to be replied after 11 a.m. So when you do one task, just pay all your attention, make all your efforts to just those one thing, and which will be more efficient for you to solve the problems.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Haifa. I guess Haifa is saying that you need to focus on your work. Yeah. And I guess it's also to seek the help of your classmates, your faculty, the professors. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Seek them. Ask them for help if needed, because after all, we're here to learn. And because you may think of the problem in certain way, but actually because your classmates come from different background, different experience, they may offer a different perspective that you may not have actually thought of. So this really helps in terms of the peer-to-peer learning, which is important in a master's program, the learning not just from the professors, but also from your peers as well. Yeah.
Also, for another point, I want to just add on another point, because sometimes you think, oh, this thing is very prioritized one, is very important. This one I must solve it firstly. Otherwise, I won't like solve other problems. But if you bring this problem to your like professor, he or she may tell you, oh, this is not the most important question in the business world, in the reality world. If you like work in this industry, the first one, the first problem may be another one, and the problem that troubles you now is relatively dependent on another problem. So it will like bring your mindset to another level. Like you can have a bigger picture when solving the problems. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Jinkai, do you have anything to add?
I just want to say, for me, no programming background, I keep on saying that I have a to-do list. Just download Microsoft To Do, and then whatever you want to study for that day, you put it on. You have to learn to give up as well, because some of that you just cannot complete. And then, just like Haifa said, you reach out to the professors. Most of the professors, they are super friendly. They are most friendly people I've seen. They don't judge you, just ask any question, even a very simple one. If you're not comfortable in English, most of our professors can communicate in Chinese as well. And they are comfortable in doing so. And surprisingly, they know the technical terms for all the algorithm as well. So just ask them. So don't be afraid. They are all super friendly. I can ascertain you that. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I guess I think our faculty members are all passionate about teaching, which is why I think they can be patient and nurturing to all our students. Yeah. Okay, so next question is from Kushi. Is the internship module helpful in the final job hunt process? Like, does it convert into a full-time opportunity? I guess it really depends on the different internship and the companies offering. There are definitely opportunities to convert a full-time one, because nowadays, companies like to, try out and then then see if you are suitable for the company, or if and both, it works both ways. So maybe Jinkai, Haifa, if you have any, of alumni classmates who have converted, in this way, do you know of anybody? Or just you have shared? Yes.
Haifa? Haifa. After Haifa, ladies first.
Sorry. Me actually is one good example, I think. Actually, I got the written offer from the company where I did my internship module in the last trimester, which is capital land. I think most of you are familiar with this company.
Yes, CapitaLand is a big property developer in Singapore and the region. Yes.
Yeah, as well as in China.
Yes.
So it's very famous, and I think the 3 months internship experience in CapitaLand is very, very, very helpful for me to get that offer in the end. Yeah. Also, if the company does not offer the opportunity to convert into a full-time job, I think it's also quite helpful for the students to have that kind of experience and then seek other opportunities in other companies.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And Jin Kai.
I think it all depends on the on the company and also the business cycle as well. Like what's the outlook? But then if it's business cycle, then we don't have to worry because it applies to all the industry as well. I would say the demand is really high for the data analytics side. So some of the company it's important for you to ask during your interview for the internship position that what's the conversion rate, and then you can decide it yourself because each company they hire process is quite different from one to another. So but most of the company, from what I understand and hear from the seniors, they do offer a conversion after your practicum internship. I would say 50-50, but even if it's not with the company that you're interning with, there are other programs. Just now, Haifa mentioned something about career fit, which is provided by our GSCDO department. In there's also like some position posts that you can apply to as well. So, but really, it all depends on the business cycle and the company. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think hearing from them, I think is as current as it is what is happening in the employment market currently. So Jarek has a question for Jin Kai. So from your experience, comparing to online learning such as LinkedIn Learning and edX, what is the advantage of learning in a campus based on the view with somebody who has multiple years of work experience?
Okay, big difference because before this, right, this is not my first attempt on studying programming, but each time when I go on the edX that you mentioned, I've been there before. LinkedIn Learning, I've been there before as well. But then it just doesn't stick, because you need a very strong discipline and hands-on work as well. Compared to that, like MSBA is a more structured institute that guide you, and you have the right guide as well. The professors there, they are very knowledgeable. Those are the one that you can't really get from the online courses. Also, you have your fellow friends from the same batch, and studying in a group is different from studying alone because you get the momentum to keep on going, because at the same time you're competing against each other. It's a competitive one, and that really gets you really want to learn more programming, and the things that you learn from the school, I can guarantee that it's updated compared to the online one. Yep.
Thank you so much. I guess it's really the kind of like your classmate learn, you kind of nudge each other and help each other along. They're kind of spurring each other on that. It's very hard to get in the online community. Maybe you don't even know most of them. You basically learn at your own pace. So it's a little bit different. So I think that in-person experience is still different because, ultimately, most of us will work in a job that requires some sort of in-person interaction as well. This also helps you to hone your interpersonal skills, your soft skills that you need to succeed in a workplace. Yeah. Okay, so one question from this 18485, you're asking if we accept the home edition test. Yes, we do accept the home edition test for GRE, TOEFL, or the IELTS, or GMAT online version. Yes. So Vicky has a questions for me. So you mentioned there are 3 application deadlines. Does it mean the offers are on a first come first serve? Yes, in a way, because it's a rolling admission. So it's kind of like as and when a full application is submitted, the admissions team will actually review. If you're shortlisted, there'll be admissions interview. If you're not shortlisted, your application will continue to be reviewed until the end of the cycle. Yeah, so definitely along the way we'll be offering offers, admissions offer, and people will be accepting offer. So always apply early, because that's where we have all the seats to fill. When you are later on in the cycle, seats are taken up, we naturally become a little bit more selective in terms of who to place in the last 10 seats in the program. So do apply early. Don't need to wait until the deadline to submit your application. Yeah. So one question from Alex is, does the MSc student require to complete a thesis or a capstone project? You don't really need to, because you're working on the data analytics practicum, which I believe is some sort of an analytics project that you need to solve. Maybe Haifa, could you just give a brief rundown on your data analytics practicum, or what do you need to hand in as the final submission?
I think there's no thesis or like the capstone project in the final trimester. And during my internship, it's like doing you just work like a full-time worker in Capital Land, and your job is similar with your colleagues, and your like working schedule is just to follow your bosses, and you can fully get engaged with your bosses, leaders, and colleagues in the company, and like you can get very good and high exposure in the industry to see how the real world runs.
Okay, thank you so much, Haifa. So I think for our data analytics practicum, they are usually generally sourced for you guys by our GS CDO colleagues. So they actually handpick, curate the companies for our students to work with. So usually they will have some sort of guidelines in terms of kind of analytics projects and works that you get to work on. And I think in addition to that, you'll be also guided by faculty members during your practicum as well. So it's not like they find any internship and then you just go there and do it, but it's curated for our students. Okay, so another question from Stephanus is, what kind of characteristic does MBS MSBA look for in their cohort? What is the general characteristic can be found in most of the students? Okay, perhaps I could answer this question. I think what we're looking at is students who are passionate about learning analytics, business analytics, who are excited about uncovering insights, and of course you must be interested and not scared of programming. You must like to look at numbers and finding patterns and drawing conclusions and all that. I think this is an important kind of characteristic, because a big majority of the curriculum is related to programming. So if you are scared of programming, you may struggle in the program. Yeah, because so I guess in terms of programming, what you probably need is to have some sort of good logical thinking in that sense. So so I think these are some of the characteristics that we look for in our applicants. Okay, so so I think we have answer quite a number of questions already. I'll just quickly go through the last two questions. And one is from Dia. Thank you so much for sharing. What's the distinctive differences between other masters we've done in 2 years compared to with thesis to graduate? Well, to be honest, I'm not quite sure about which other programs that require 2 years. For what I could understand, in Singapore, usually specialized masters in this area are generally 1 year. For those that require a thesis, probably second year may not have a lot of coursework. I cannot be sure. Then they spend a lot of time, to do a research and a thesis. So for us, we focus more on a coursework-based program where students get practical hands-on experience, so that they can actually, it's a very transferable skills that when they graduate and get a job, they're confident to apply what they have learned into the job that they have entered into. So I think that's That's what our program aims to do. So I'm not quite sure about those 2-year program. So I'm sorry if I cannot give a very good answer. And finally, from Reki, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. About the recommendations letter, which is preferred academic or professional. So I think if you're graduated for many years and you have been working, so I think it's okay to, it's totally fine if your recommenders are your supervisors or previous supervisors, because you may have lost touch with the academic recommenders. But if you're fresh graduates, it's also okay to have academic recommenders. You could also include your internship supervisors as well as one of your recommenders. So I think one important thing about recommenders is they should know you fairly well, have a good understanding of your abilities, and give you a good recommendation. Because the last thing you want in an application is find somebody who doesn't know you very well and give you a very bad recommendation. So that will not work in your favor in terms of application. So do look for somebody. Of course, please do not ask your mother, your father, or your brothers or your uncles to write. Yeah, this is not acceptable. Yes. So your previous professors are great. Your supervisors in your current job, previous internship, previous job are fine. We do understand if you're working, you may not want to let your current supervisors know that you're thinking of doing a master's. Totally fine if you use previous supervisors. Yeah. So I guess this wraps up today's sharing session. Thank you all for joining us. And of course, a huge thank you to Haifa and Jun-Kai for taking time to join us this evening. So Jun-Kai, are you going back to studying after this?
Yes, you guessed it.
Yeah. Okay, and I guess for Haifa, you rush here to do this for us afterward. I guess you can enjoy your dinner now.
Yeah.
Okay,
No
thank you so much, everybody. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. What I'll do is I will share my screen one last time to actually just go on to the if you have WeChat and you'd like to join our 2023 admissions group, feel free to actually scan on this QR code to join our WeChat group. Sometimes we post information and updates, invitation to events such as today in the chat group. And for others, you may want to actually follow us on our different social media. We have linking Facebook, Instagram, and WeChat. So thank you so much. I will also put my email address into the chat so that you can actually write to me if you have any questions that we did not manage to answer this evening. Okay, so thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. So with this, I will just end this session. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.